Hey kids, welcome back to another week of Oldman Plays CFL Weekly Fantasy. Yes, indeed. A rough start to the season for me. Anyone that caught the show last week will know I had 71.9 points and lost badly. 13th out of 16 in the league. Oh. So this week, or this past week, I was trying to bounce back, and I felt pretty good about the team I put together. We got 121.5 points, and I thought that might be good enough to win. It was fifth in the league. Hey, out of 16, not so bad. My opponent, Hamilton Sports Channel, was fourth with 121.8. That's right, I lost a game by 0.3 points. 0.3 friggin' points. Can you believe it? Oh, that hurt. So, have to see what I can bounce back this week. I'm against Cooper Trooper from Canadian Football Countdown, and he plays a mean fantasy game, so I'm going to have to be on my toes. This week, starting to see sort of how the players are performing in 26, but I'm still looking back to last year's to get some idea. Went back again and looked at specifically how these teams performed against each other last year and how the receivers in particular did. A lot of caveats there. There's a lot of different coordinators around, players in different positions or different teams, stuff like that. So hard to say, but it gives us something. So starting with the first game, we've got BC going into Edmonton on Friday night. BC's beat up at receiver, 3 of them out. They've got Berryhill out. They've got Sevens McGee out, who was going to be in the starting lineup this year, we're told, and they got Katoy out. So 3 backups in there. Might be some cheap people to pick up because you know Nathan's got to be throwing the ball and they can't all go to the 2 top guys. Now, if you do want to go with the top ones, when they played in BC, Hatcher blew up and had a hell of a game. When they played in Hamilton, McGinnis blew up and had a damn good game. Both of them, well up over 100 yards and multiple catches. But who knows? So which one will get the game this time? I think I'm going to stay away from Nathan just because he's got so many unproven receivers. And on the other side of the ball, again, the offense has changed a lot. But if you want to go with Bo, I'd say Keandre Smith is your best bet. I mean, Kenny made some catches in those games against BC, but nothing too spectacular, whereas Smith, between the 2 games, had 19 catches and averaged 92 yards, got 3 touchdowns in the 2 games. So he might be a good team up. Toronto at Ottawa, part of Toronto's extended road tour at the start of their season here. Again, different quarterback for Ottawa. It's Mayer, not Brown, so I don't know. Hardy did the best last year, so if you want to make a team up in those ones, you can. I don't think I'll stay away from that. The other side, I'm tempted because I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, and as much as it pains me to take the Chad, he might be the best bet at quarterback this week. Hard to say who to team him up with. Last year in the games, their best performer was Herslow, and he's not on the depth chart for this game. Coxie didn't do well, but mind you, again, with a different quarterback. Going deep, maybe he's there. As well, Polk didn't look good with his connection with Kelly last week. Will they sort it out this week? I don't know. Last week it was Mytel and the new player Kamen that both blew up for a lot in that game. Mytel played steady last year against them, so might want to go that way, and depending on price, maybe you can take Kelly in both of those and hope you hit who blows up. I might consider that. Then we've got the afternoon game, which is Montreal at Edmonton. And for Edmonton, last year against Montreal, all their receivers were pretty meh, 2 or 3 catches average and maybe about 30 yards. So if you're going to go with Cody as your quarterback and you want to team him up with someone, I'd probably go to Mac and see what they do. On the other side, Alexander only played 1 game. The other game, it was Caleb Evans and McLeod Bethel Thompson that were in there. But the game that Alexander played, and Philpott only played in that game too, he blew up. So Alexander and Philpott might be a good combination. If you want to go with Sneed, again, he didn't perform as well as Philpott against him last year, but he was good and solid. And he got touchdown and, averaged 60 yards and almost 6 catches. So you might want to go that way. And then that takes us to our last game of the week, the Saskatchewan at Calgary game. Might be tempted to take Saskatchewan after their performance last week. I mean, Harris was incredibly accurate. We had Schaefer Baker blow up for something like almost, I think it was 9 or 10 catches for 100 and close to 60 yards. Emlis went off for 3 touchdowns. Johnson had over 100 yards, I believe. So any of them could do it. But on the other hand, they didn't perform well against Calgary last year. And who knows what will happen with this one. So I think I'm staying away from that. On the other side, if you want to go with Calgary, you're going to go with BA as your quarterback and team him up with somebody. It looks like Jalen Philpott's probably your best bet. So there's what's what. I'm going to fire up the old computer here and see what my weekly budget will allow me to put together for a team, and hope we do have better results this week. Okay, let's see where we're going to go here with this. I said, much as it pains me that for some reason it just feels like maybe Kelly is the guy this week. Let's see, where does he come into stuff here? Oh, he's only at 13.4, so he's considerably cheaper. I think I like that idea. Let's try running back. Maybe stick with the Toronto theme there, and because their running back Hicks played fairly well in that game. He might be a good start. He's 7.5, does it look like there? Yeah, so, yeah, that's possible. And then wide receivers, if we're sticking with that, I said possibly Mattel at 12. He's a little expensive. And then do they have the other one in there, Kamen? Ah, there he is, and he's 3.5. So let's try those. I know we're taking a bit of a chance with that, but that leaves us lots to play with here. So I can then maybe take the the defense that I figure is going to be best, Saskatchewan, and they a little beat up. It's hard to tell. BC, I certainly wouldn't go there with it. No, I think maybe, or on the other hand, maybe Hamilton. Let's try that to start with. See where that leaves us. Okay, so running backs. What are we going to do with running backs? I said I didn't want Mills because he's up against Saskatchewan, and he may go off, but don't know for sure. Can we trust Greg Bell against that Toronto defense? Montreal didn't run on them very much, and mind you, Dinwiddie does like to establish a running game too. This is going to be a tough one. How can AJ do against the Calgary line? I can go with a higher priced one, but do I want to? What the heck? Let's take a chance on Bell. And what does that leave me then for my flex player? 12.9. So for 12.9, I could take Schaefer Baker. I could also back off on my running back. So who do we have here up at the top of this? Yeah, let's do that. Let's not go with Greg Bell. Let's instead go with Roundtree from Hamilton, because he's as good a chance as anyone. And then that leaves me down here. I can take Tyson Philpott. Okay. And that's not a bad team put together. I have the room to go from Hamilton defense to Montreal's defense, but Montreal is missing Beverett. So I'm not sure that I want to do that. Where else could I upgrade here? I don't know that there's a running back that I want better than any of these guys. I can put Mills in there. Go to Toronto again and fit Hicks in. I believe I can. Okay, that's it. I feel better about that. 0.1 left, not leaving any money on the table. And I think I like what the combination I've got there. So make Kelly the captain, lock it in, and there's our team. The Hamilton Tiger Cats defense, Kelly as quarterback and captain from Toronto, Dedrick Mills from Calgary as one running back, Hicks from Toronto as the other running back. My wide receivers are both Toronto, Kevin Mattel and Kamen. I believe that's close to how you pronounce his name, the new fellow. And my flex is going to be Tyson Philpott. Okay, so there's them. There's my picks. As always, use them at your peril. As I've mentioned, I'm 0-2 to start the season, hoping that I start to bounce back here and Can't fall too far behind in this league or I'll be in trouble. But thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. If you're enjoying this, drop a like. It helps a lot if you're on the podcast, especially on Apple Podcast. Found out how easy it is to actually write a review or leave a 5-star rating. Those all help build our little empire here, and we much appreciate them. Comments, of course. Love to hear what you have to say. So let me know. Am I helping? Am I hurting? What's going on? And that's about it. So until next week, Old Man signing off.